welcome back to my channel. Sorry my voice is like this a little bit. I have been coming down with a cold. Fiddle. Maybe that's better. But yeah, so I did it, you guys. I finally finished Umbrella Academy. And it's been about a month or so in the making. And I am proud of myself and I like the way it ended. So let's finish where we left off. So Vanya was coming to powers, but she didn't know it yet. But the guy knew it. Was Leonard. So as we see in the next episode, she starts to feel it more. She got mad off of something. Her family was having a meeting about the apocalypse and she wasn't invited. So she just felt betrayed and like they just like been treating her like she was little and just didn't want her around. And now she did something to the streets and Leonard was telling her like, you have powers, and she didn't want to believe it. And then it took for these guys like basically whooping his ass for her to use her powers even more so fully. And we also find out that Leonard is the one with the missing eye. So as he got beat up, they put him up so bad that he lost his eye. And come to find out that he actually paid them to do that because he wanted her to use her powers, pretty much. What do Leonard get out of this? As the season goes on, we find out that his name is actually Harold, and he was born on the same day as all of the kids, and he thought that he was born with superpowers. He just haven't tapped into it yet, and he always wanted to join the Umbrella Academy. But no, he was stuck with his abusive alcoholic father. So and then he ended up killing the dad, which is crazy too. It's like at 12, 13. But it's like he was abusing him so much. So I mean, everyone has their breaking point. So he killed that motherfucker and went to jail for 12 years, and still, after that, still was like, I'm saying true, I want to join the Umbrella Academy, or I'm going to make them pay. So he befriended Vanda, because he knew about her powers, right? So yeah. Okay, so, also, Klaus is sober, and he is tapping into more of the abilities of his power. He is able to touch a little bit, like Ben slapped him. He was actually able to feel it. And I was like, what? How was he able to do that? And then another shocker for me, there's a lot of shockers in the show. Klaus is gay. We found out that he's gay because when they showed off what happens when you went to war and the person he met, Dave, and how they connected. And I was like, I wasn't shocked, like, ew, gay. I was like, okay, because I was wondering, like, why we don't ever see Klaus with anyone, like a romantic interest in the story, even though I know that, like, that's not for everyone. But I was like, okay, I see. So, as you know, Hazel and Cha-Cha were supposed to kill number 5. He ended up going back to, what is it, the place back in time, and so that mission got canceled, and they were both sent to separate missions of that they had to kill the other, right? Hazel wanted to get it out that life. He did not want to be in that life no more. He wanted to go be with his old lady and just live life. And I was like, now why is he interested in this young lady? But then as the season went on, I looked and think about it, like, you know, he has been doing this for so long that they are mentally they're older. They're like way older. So it makes sense for him to be attracted to an older lady. So I'm like, okay, now I get it. It's just like, if he's just like young and it's like, okay. Even though it happens, that still was like, okay. Oh, you know what I'm saying? And Vanna is getting more in tune with her powers. So basically, most of her powers basically is she has to listen to, like, find a beat, find a tune, find something to listen to harness that, and it creates some type of like magnetic type of like sound wave like thing, and it basically feeds off her emotions, like mostly anger. That's what you see in the season. It's mostly anger and sadness. Because she was able to control the weather. She could, like, pick someone up and make them fly and you know, push them, like, hella far. You know, so, spoilers. She got into a heated argument with what's her name? Number 3, Allison. They got into a heated argument because she ended up coming back to Leonard's house. It was like, he's not really Leonard, he's Harold, or whatever the hell you want to be. You need to get to safety, girl. This is not safe for you. So she was like, you know, in true fashion, everyone is like, no, you don't know my man. I know my man. Like, she didn't say it like that, but that's, you know, how everyone say it. And she was like, no, you don't love me. And we also found out that Allison knew about the powers. Like, she didn't, like, really knew, but she kept using that excuse. Like, we were young and we didn't know what we were doing and we didn't know why your dad would tell us you're sick and this and that. But he basically made her use her powers, which is, I heard a rumor, and then pretty much they do what she said or believe what she wanted to believe. So she heard that I heard her rumor that you think you're ordinary, like you don't have no powers. And then that's when he started giving her pills, and it's like, that's why she's going to start the apocalypse, because the way that he went about that should have been like, girl, like, made her feel more loved. Harness her powers, like, you barking orders at them, making her feel like a dummy. Of course she's going to be mad. And then you made it worse by making her forget that she had powers. Does she don't call apocalypse? She mad. So she felt like Allison knew, but Alice was like, no, I really didn't know. I thought it was just like, I just something he wanted me to do. You know, we got to follow daddy's orders. He the daddy. So what did the homegirl end up doing? Cutting her throat, slitting her throat. Because she was about to tell her, I heard a rumor. And she probably was about to make her forget that she had her powers all over again. She was like, nope, not today. You will not be doing that today, Satan. Slash her throat, honey. I'm like, oh my God, she's dying. Because she was bleeding so much. You know, Luther, he was about to come get his baby because they've been having some chemistry this whole season. I've been waiting for something to happen, and it's like, come on, y'all gonna happen or y'all not gonna happen. We're not gonna keep playing this back and forth. But luckily, they were able to. All the boys came and got her, and they were able to, you know, save her. But she was not able to use her voice for the rest of the season because when she cut her, she messed up her vocal cords. Now we don't know if she will be able to use it again, but as of right now, she's just not. It's just still need to be healed. So what I also thought was pretty, you know, interesting is like how they're giving Klaus more of a back, like, you know, more of a front row, not in the back, like. He's not on drugs anymore. He wants to be able to conjure his dead lover from the war. And in doing that, he ended up calling his father. And his father told him that he committed suicide pretty much because he wanted his family to get back together. That was the only way for them to get back together so they could stop the apocalypse. And, yeah. And then he ended, like, and then he tried to go tell the brothers and his siblings, but they don't believe him because of his past of him being a druggie. And it's like, no, dummies, y'all gotta start believing him. Like, what he used to do now, he trying to tell y'all something valuable information, and y'all gonna be mad when y'all didn't listen to it till later, right? So they believe that the apocalypse is not going to happen because Vanya ended up killing Leonard because she found the secret book that he had from the dad. The dad wrote about how she was with her powers and why she kept it a secret. So she found that. And you know, Vanya was not playing them games. She was like, I basically just killed my sister. She thought that she killed her sister at this point. So what she do? Elevate her powers even more. Lift them up like dozens of knives. Then punctured him in his little chest. And he died. And it's like, po baby, po Vanya. And what she do, she tried to go tell the guys. And Luther. I did not like Luther at all. He was the only character I did not like this whole season. He was too much of a crybaby for me. And he was like, oh, I'm the leader, but didn't act like the leader none of the season. It's like, first off, your powers is the weakest out of everybody. You can't do nothing. Like, you strong, okay, and so what? So as far as powers, it goes to me, Vanya. Number 5, because he got some more too. Klaus. I feel like he got extra stuff too, because not only can he talk to the dead, he can probably, I feel like he can do something extra, but he just haven't tapped into it yet. He could also possess other people and use their power, like as we saw in the last episode, what he did with Ben. Ben was able to use his little powers. Ben, number 2, Diego. Then number 3, Allison. Then number 1. He goes way at the end. So you should have been number 0, negative fucking 100. You strong. Movies been doing that for so long. That's not even a superpower no more. We don't care. It's blah. It's basic. Get to the back of the bus. You just irritated me because he entrapped her, and then it made her not only, she was already feeling fucking low all her life. That y'all isolated her, that y'all didn't want her around, and you keeping her isolated. Like, I get y'all think she's dangerous, but that's what's gonna make it worse. You keeping her isolated and not listening to Allison to try to let her free. So talk about this. It's like, okay, this is what we found out, honey. Like, you gotta control your powers. And he didn't listen. So what did she do? Tapped into her inner younger self, and honey, she got broke free, and it was a whole new Vanya at that point. Looking to kill anyone and any who. And who she killed? Pogo. I found it. I remember his name now. The little monkey, Pogo. He knew about everything. He knew that the dad sent number 1 on the moon for no reason, just to keep him, I guess, occupied, or just not have him around as much. Who knows? He knew that Vanya had powers. He knew that the dad killed himself, and he even helped a little bit, and keep it a secret. So, he ended up dying, which is sad a little bit. Not too much, but, Vanya's like, I'm going to this concert that I had, no matter what, because she destroyed the house, and they found out that she's the person who's the cause of the apocalypse. So, of course, Luther's like, we got to stop her by all means necessary, even if it's me putting her down. Like, boy, chill, crybaby ass. You was just crying and whining about your daddy. But this is what dad would want. Like, nobody care about none of you. What you talking about? You was not the leader. Go on to the back. Please go on to the back. Stop acting like you the leader. But they finally they realize that it takes all of them together to stop this apocalypse from happening. But if only they sit and realize that if they were actually nicer to Vaughn, listen to her, she probably wouldn't have been as mean and nasty as she was. So, the big showdown, they are at her concert, and she's playing her music. And, of course, the music is also feeding her to be able to get to those sound waves to use her powers. And we see it more. She's able to levitate. She's able to, like, the tentacles that Ben was able to do, she was able to do that with, like, fucking light. But it wasn't tentacles. It was just like they were holding up to all of them. Like I said, Klaus was using his powers more. Of course, Diego with them little knives. And Luke, that bitch being strong, I guess. Allison couldn't do much because, her powers, her voice, honey, her voice. So she was just like a sitting duck there. And it was like, if we gonna die trying to fight. We gonna try to save this world. But Allison, she, like, shot a gun next to her head. I think it was to, like, disturb her distraction from that one sound. Because in order for it to power to work, she had to be focusing on one sound. Not every single sound, just one sound. So I think she just helped it. And then, and they thought, oh, luckily we put her down. So we stopped the apocalypse. No, honey, y'all basically made her shoot up to the goddamn, I don't know if it was a moon or whatever. And now that's what is causing the apocalypse. So, number 5 comes with this brilliant idea. Let me maybe see if we all can hold hands and I can time jump everyone back to before Vanya finds out her powers, or before this actually happens, so they can all actually be a unit as a family to see if this can help the apocalypse from not happening. So this is what he ended up doing. They all end up going back. Vanya's still passed out at this point, so number 1 is holding her, and as the season is ending, it just shows them at a younger age. Even number 6, they finally believed number 4 when he was telling them that Ben was still around, and so they were all time jump before the world, they all time jumped before the world ended, right on them. So everyone else got pretty much annihilated except them. So that's where it ended, which is like, no. And it just showed that season 2 is confirmed. So it just showed that season 2 is confirmed, and I cannot wait until that comes out. This show has gotten like a 9 out of 10 for me. What could have been that extra point for me? I felt like some of the episodes was just like too talkative for me. Like not enough action, not enough keep me on the edge of my seat until they got to the end. Also, a little less of Luther. That was killing it for me. Him and Allison's little relationship was also annoying as hell, because that was a main focus point in this too. Like, I really don't care about y'all being together all your life. Y'all basically brothers and sisters, and y'all in love with each other. Luther's scared to tell you. Allison ain't gonna tell you. Y'all need to figure that out off screen. I don't care. That's not what we came here for. You know what I'm saying? I wish that Klaus would have been able to use his power more. I would really love to see more of that. I would wish now we can see Bond maybe use her powers more. So yeah, it could have had more, but nonetheless, it still was a great show, and I can't wait for season 2 because I will be watching it. So let me know, you guys, how you feel about the show. If you watched it, if you will watch it, if you plan on watching it, probably not ever. Still let me know what you thought about my explanation, my very fast explanation of the show. Because, I mean, I think it did great. So yeah, I am going to go to sleep because clearly I need to rest my voice for I'll be like Allison having to write on a piece of pad. So you guys, like the video, share, and hit that subscribe button. Goodbye.